Hey y'all, it's Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. And this week we will be discussing the energy from January the 10th all the way through January the 16th. And this is probably going to be the most intense week of the entire year. And as I've mentioned in my other videos for January, that January is the most intense month of the entire year. So we were thinking that, the last week or so was pretty intense, and it was, this high energy, very stressful energy. But this week that we will be coming up on is really more intense, and this is just kind of something that has been leading up to what we will be experiencing for the remainder of this month in January. So this week is going to be by far the most intense, and then the last 2 weeks of January are not going to be any different. So we got a lot of heavy energy, some things to kind of like push through, navigate through, some oppressive, limiting things that are coming up, as well as just trying to find different ways of navigating a new world. Like, this is a whole new paradigm. So that's basically going to be like the overall energy that we will be experiencing. There's going to be lots of information coming in, as far as media, lots of decisions, lots of opportunities, lots of things that's going to be presenting itself to us, and we're going to have to make these decisions. And all of the decisions that we are going to be needing to make are going to basically catalyze the remainder of the year, set us in a new direction, shift the trajectory of where we are going. And as we all know, we are still very heavily under the influence of the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that happened at the end of 2020. So go ahead and, if you want to know more about that, you can watch my video that I have. I'll link it in here. But that energy is still very present. We still have Mars that's just freshly moved into Taurus. We have Aquarius stellium that's going on. So there's just quite a few things to discuss. But before we get into the forecast, I want to just have some quick announcements. This week I have tickets going on sale as of today. So this is going to be a collaborative event that I am hosting with Natita Giselle from Trauma Conscious Yoga Therapy Institute. I am so excited for this collaboration. It is a long time coming. She is fresh off maternity leave and back doing her wonderful work. She is a yoga instructor, but she's also a somatic therapist. So she has bridged the two things together into this wonderful institute. And she just offers so much that is healing, is very healing. So what this is going to be is a full moon healing circle, and this is going to be the one of many. So we will have this every month moving forward, but the first one that we are going to be having is on the full moon in Leo. That is January 28th. That will be hosted virtually at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, of course, and because y'all know I'm in Texas. So what she will do, she will guide us through some yoga movement that is part vinyasa and part restorative. And then I will tie in the astrology of the full moon, how to utilize these energies, how to heal, how to, use what the full moon in Leo represents to move us through what needs to be healed, what needs to be released, because we know full moons are about a release. So for the early bird, those are $35 for the early bird special. After the early bird deadline, it's $40 for that. I will link that in the bio as well. You can find that on my website. You can find that on her website. I will link all of that information. So I hope to see you all there. That's pretty much all the announcements I have. So let's get into galactic gossip. So this week, like I mentioned, the most intense week of the entire year. And that's kind of heavy to say. That's like really, that's a lot of pressure to put on this week to live up to its expectations. But it's true. On the 11th, which is just Monday, we have Mercury going to be conjuncting Jupiter in Aquarius at 5 degrees. So you have to take into consideration the two things, Mercury, Jupiter, and then you have to tie in Aquarius. So this is a lot of optimism that's going to come up. I'm feeling very optimistic, a lot of opportunities that are going to come up, a lot of information because that's Mercury. And then Jupiter is abundance. So it gives us an excess amount of things sometimes, an over excess even as well. So, and it's a lot of quick energy, something that comes quick and moves quick. It comes through and it immediately like releases itself. So there's going to have to be a lot of decision making happening with the information that we are receiving. This is also great energy to settle disputes, but while we're trying to see the big picture of things, there's still that tension that we are going to be feeling because we just have Mars that's just recently moved into Taurus and is going to be squaring the same energy. So on the 12th, the same day as the new moon in Capricorn, we have Mercury squaring Uranus in Taurus. So Mercury is in Aquarius, squaring the Uranus and Taurus at 6 degrees. So this is going to give us some mishaps in those mishaps and misunderstanding within the communication and within the relating to other people, relating to the outside environment, things that are really going on. So things are not going to be as they seem. We're going to be really misunderstanding and not seeing clearly what's really happening here. And it's going to be tying in with that Mercury conjunct Jupiter because it's going to be a lot of information coming up all at once. And so it's going to be hard to make decisions about what you want to take in, what you want to do, where you want to go, depending on where this is aspected in your chart. But just collectively, it's going to give us a lot of things we're going to have to make choices on. But it's really not the best energy to start anything new or to make these heavy choices on anything. Like Monday is fine. Tuesday, you start getting a little shaky. Wednesday, moving forward, it's not a great time to start anything new. It's really just a time to sit back and digest what's coming in. Make sure that you're taking your time with things and that you're not feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So make sure it's a lot of that breathing and keeping our anxieties at bay because this energy breeds anxiety, panic, fear for this entire month. It's like allowing things to shake up, allowing a lot of upheaval and destruction because something new is emerging here. So we got to get rid of the old. And it could be mindsets, it could be structures, it could be so many different things. So the beginning of the week starts off with a bang. You know, lots of things coming at us all at once and a lot of misunderstandings in what's coming at us. So on the bright side, this energy that's happening on the 12th with Mercury squaring Uranus is going to give us some unconventional perspective to the things that are coming up. So you might have an idea or you might come up with a solution that is a different way of solving a problem. So it's going to also help with that energy of Mercury Jupiter conjunction because that's going to give us that energy that's great for settling disputes. So you know, just kind of make sure that you're keeping your anxiety and your panic at bay. Like I mentioned previously, you know, make sure you're doing your breathing, tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system. Make sure you're doing your yoga, whatever it is that keeps you calm. That way we are able to digest what is being shown and presented to us and that we're not overreacting because this is that overreacting energy, especially with Jupiter there. And Uranus is a planet that rules our mind as well as the nervous system, just as well as Mercury rules the mind, the brain, our thought process, our perception. So when you add these planets together, and Uranus is a very electrical planet, so it's the nervous system. It will spark something, and you add that with Jupiter, that's over excessive. It's a lot of panic and energy that can come up on a mental level. So it could be a lot of scattered mental energy where we are finding it hard to make decisions, finding it hard to stay focused. Also, there's going to be a lot of info that can breed chaos as well. So that's that panic that can set in. This is just the first 2 days of the week. This is Monday, Tuesday. Not to mention, Tuesday is the new moon in Capricorn. So this new moon is happening at 23 degrees and it is reactivating the same energy that we had last year, January 2020, when we had the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in the same degree. So it's reactivating that same energy that we experienced all through 2020, where we've been feeling like we need to be liberated and break free of something, and some type of change needs to happen. There needs to be a release. Something needs to transform. Something needs to die to allow something to be reborn. So, not to mention that this is the degree of this new moon is a 5 in numerology. So that's all about positive change and transformation. But at the same time, it's about building something new. So with it being in Capricorn, this is about structure. This is about our discipline. This is about the work. Yes, on a personal level, it's about our career and our public image, our reputation. But collectively, this is about the structures that have been placed upon us and what things should be, how things should go. So there's something new happening here, something being torn down to allow something else to be reborn. This is also going to have a close conjunction to Pluto. So it's going to be at 23 degrees at the time of the new moon, but Pluto is at 24 degrees. So it's literally 1 degree apart. And this close conjunction to Pluto is that energy of fear. It's also that energy of a release, something that needs to happen in order to let go. Something needs to be let go of. There's also going to give us that energy that something needs to be reflected upon in order to set these intentions from a new space of knowing, because new moons are for setting intentions. And so with Pluto being involved, it's going to give us that obsessive, hyper intense focus in order to set the intentions. But we must take into account what happened over 2020, right? From January of 2020 to present day. So a year ago, this is activating that energy from a year ago. So what lessons have we learned? Where is it that we have grown from? Where are we now? When you set your intentions, make sure you're setting your intentions from a new place of knowing. Have you grown? Have you learned your lessons? Have you taken the experiences and the knowledge that you've acquired, turned it into action, applied the action, and now you have wisdom? So this is about the work that we've previously been doing as a collective as well as individually, and applying that to the now to manifest something different into 2021. Like, where are you really trying to go? What is it that you truly desire? Because that Pluto energy, that's that, what is it that I desire from a psychological level? It's that psychological focus, really going internal and seeing what it is that you need to release individually that's going to allow you to manifest and have the things that you desire for your life. But like I've always said, you as an individual affects the collective, right? We're all connected in some kind of way. So whatever it is that you need to work on, whatever it is you need to release, the growth that you need to acknowledge and then apply the wisdom and the action, all of that is going to tie into the collective energy that's happening within all of us. So we put in the work. We've done the things that needs to happen, and now we have this focus so where we can set these intentions from a new place of knowing. But with this new moon, we could be feeling really melancholy about it and feeling a little depressed because you got that Pluto energy there. And then also it's in Capricorn. Capricorn is about limitations and blockages as well. Have you done the work? If not, yeah, you got to go do a few more things before you can move forward. Not to mention, we have the Mars that has now moved into Taurus and is squaring Saturn, which is in Aquarius, and Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. So it's saying like, hey, I'm determined. Mars and Taurus is very determined to get these things going and get whatever it is that, it's very ambitious. But Saturn is like, but hey, did you do this? Have you learned that? And if you haven't, if it's still work that needs to be done, it won't move forward. So we're going to be feeling like we want to break free. We want to have some liberation. There needs to be a change that happens. Frustration and inhibitions, basically just feeling really inhibited about what it is that we want. Can't really do it right now. So it's very important that we don't start anything brand new. It's more so a time to revise and just make a strategic plan and not really forge through with anything brand stinking new. Also, this can incite a lot of delays But with this energy here, we can procrastinate on the things that we need to be doing as well. And this energy really becomes more present on the 13th. So this happens Wednesday while we're still under the energy of the new moon in Capricorn. So make sure that when you are setting your intentions for the new moon, that you are being completely honest and completely true, and that you're not setting your intentions from a place of fear, but you are actually doing the opposite, because the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. So set your intentions from a place of love, from a place of optimism, and not from fear, not because you don't want something to happen or you're afraid of this manifesting. So I need to make sure I say or I write my intentions for whatever it is. Yeah, just make sure that you're operating on this entire week from a space of love and not fear. So with that, that's Tuesday. Wednesday, we have Mars squaring Saturn in Aquarius, and that's at 3 degrees. And then moving on to the 14th, we have Uranus stationed in direct at 6 degrees. So Uranus has been retrograde since August of 2020. And so now it's stationed in direct at 6 degrees, and it's going to be making its way to conjunct Mars that is now in Taurus. And so once it does that, it will then be squaring the Aquarius stellium that we have. So we have Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, all in Aquarius. And then as of the 19th, we will have the sun in Aquarius. So it will be squaring all of that Aquarian energy. And this is going to bring, of course, when Uranus is involved, Uranus brings unexpected events just off the top. It's just something that you weren't expecting. It can bring unexpected events, unexpected opportunities, something that really just shakes you up, takes you on a wild ride. But it's the ruler of Aquarius. So it's going to bring some liberation from oppression. Whatever it is that you have been feeling limited and blocked on, it's going to bring that liberation, but more so on ideas of how to be liberated. We're going to feel oppressed. We're going to feel blocked, like we can't do, and it could literally be something that literally manifests physically, like a completely block, like a lockdown, like we're shut down again. It could be something like that. It could also be with Uranus station in direct that the people, because Uranus rules Aquarius, so it's the collective. The people are going to move forward with breaking these things. So we've been kind of in this energy of reflecting internally about what needs to happen, and now it's going to become more apparent externally on what needs to happen and where things are moving. So Uranus station in direct, this is huge energy. Also, this is probably one of the major energies, along with the new moon and Uranus at the same time. And this is stationed in direct while we're still present under this new moon energy as well. So last but definitely not least, on the same day that Uranus stations direct, we have the sun in a conjunction with Pluto at 24 degrees. So this is like that death of the ego vibe. And it's a time for us to go within for introspection, to see what it is that we truly desire, really tap into our psyche, tap into our psychological aspects of things, and really get down to the nitty gritty of what's been holding us back. Because what really is inside, was held internally, manifests externally. So what's holding us back as a collective is what's actually holding us back individually. And so this is going to also increase that personal power for us to have in order to move forward when the time comes. But at the same time, it's going to incite power struggles. So just kind of be very careful with that. Like I mentioned last week, it is not a time to start anything new, like brand stinking new. No. It's also not a time to just react impulsively with that Mars energy. Mars is it's about that action, right? So Mars is always ready to go. It's also aggressive, and it's also about war. So it's really not a time to take initiative aggressively or impulsively. Just know what needs to be done and really take your time with allowing time to manifest how it should be done. There is a structure to getting things done. Make sure you're following that structure. Make sure you're not trying to skip steps and go the easy and or quick route. So just keep in mind all of those things. Make sure you are breathing and doing your meditation and your visualization, and you're taking your baths and you're setting your intentions from a heart space. So that is all I have for Galactic Gossip this week. I hope this has been helpful. All of the information for the upcoming events, as well as my videos that will talk about Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, and even the video from last week where I talked about a lot of the energy that led up to what we're experiencing this week. I will link that all in my bio. Y'all know where to find me, website and all that stuff. It's down there. Hope y'all have a good week. Keep your head on straight. Keep it cool. Bye.